Hello YouTube. Today we have an Earthshaker from 1989 by the great Pat Lawlor. You may know Pat Lawlor from other such great games as Twilight Zone, which we will talk about a different day. This particular Earthshaker came into my life a few weeks ago and was in pretty decent shape. I am a pinball mechanic, but I am not a pinball restoring expert. So when you see things like really serious playfield wear right down to the wood, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. When you see issues like what they call Mylar Ghosting, let's see if we can see, you can hear it. You may not be able to see it, but the Mylar comes up from the inserts and you get little bubbles under it. And there are tricks about using canned air in an upside down way where you squirt the edge and freeze the adhesive and peel it back, and that's a pretty well-known and well-liked approach. But I don't know what I would do after that, and I'm just not ready to do that. So what I did do is replace all of the lamps with LEDs that came from the great Comet Pinball. So these are all color matched, and you can't necessarily see the color in the camera, but I'm using warm white, non-ghosting, single SMD bulbs for pretty much everything. These are warm white. I have a bad connection. That's a good bulb, but a bad connection, so I'm going to solve that eventually. These are also warm white to give the yellow sort of look. Blue is blue, green is green. Orange, Comet advises using pink under an orange insert. And I think it looks fabulous. So I have warm white under the 4 and 5 to give yellow. 6 is orange, which is a pink insert under there. 6, of course, is red. The sunlight flasher almost never lights up during gameplay, so I put an 8 SMD, a super bright 8 SMD flex under that. I've color matched the Earthquake Institute colors. In the video, it looks nice and blue for 1, 2, and 3. To the naked eye, it looks more like green. I used cyan bulbs there. I would probably switch to blue. I used jet discs, and you can see them ghosting just a tiny bit, and I'm just preferring not to look very closely at that. I replaced a bunch of plastics. This eject hole, the metal piece under it had pushed up and up and up to the point where it had absolutely ruined the plastic, and if I don't keep an eye on that, it'll ruin this one too. I haven't replaced all the plastics. Here's one that I haven't replaced because I'm not really ready to replace those rivets with itty-bitty tiny little nuts and bolts, because the beautiful replacement plastics that you can get from CPR, they look spectacular. But of course, they don't include the brackets and rivets and everything, so you gotta kind of do that on your own. And what else do I want to tell you about? Comet makes these really cool star post lights. And the way they work is you put them under the star post, and you can see the little bits of circuit right under there if you look really close. And it provides a really lovely glowing light. And my original intention had been to put them everywhere. You can see that I got them there and there. I was gonna put them in there as well. I was gonna put them under Hollyland in there, but I found that it was too bright. The other places I did put them, under the left flipper. I think it's nice to get a little light there. And I snuck one in to the left of the jets, which helps to illuminate that area. And the idea is you don't want those to be shining in your face. I also put 2 of them flanking the drop targets. You can see them there. And I also stuck one way up under the spiral so that if you were to peek around under there, you could actually see what's going on. And you can see I've tidied it up a little bit. You can see some additional playfield wear. But overall, it's in pretty good shape. The ramps are new. The ramps were broken. These ramps came from Marco Specialties, of course. They're much meatier So here's an original ramp, and you can see there's not a lot of plastic there. But the Marco ramp, they used a lot of plastic to make those. So much so that this lens collides with the glass just a tiny bit. You gotta sort of shove that down to get the glass over it. The back glass, single SMD, warm white SMDs from Comet with 2 SMDs under the logo. There's one bulb for each letter. And so the word Earthshaker pops out a little bit. I didn't want to color match the back glass. That's how you get, what do they call it, clown puke. I didn't want any clown puke in my house. I think it came out all right. If you look on Comet's YouTube channel, you'll see an Addams family where they experiment with different blinking bulbs. And I've done something similar here. I have a slow, bright blinker under the dude with his phone, a slow, bright blinker under this swimming pool, and then a dim, slow blinker, no, a fast blinker under the fault there. And that gives it an interesting kind of view. The other interesting thing I did is I put a fast blinking SMD under the helicopter, give you this sense of motion. So yeah, maybe I'll cut in some video of how it looked to begin with, but this is my Earthshaker. And someday I will either replace the playfield if I can find a repro, or teach myself how to maybe restore. The idea of restoring and color matching and repainting and doing a clear coat by myself, and I've heard that, you know, if you try to clear coat it, the inserts can warp, and I feel like so much can go wrong there that I'm not ready to try that out. The ramps, while they are beautiful, these new ramps didn't fit precisely, and I ended up drilling new holes in the playfield in order to get this ramp to fit. This center ramp is perfect, but the right ramp, you can see I've messed with it a little bit. This metal flap isn't long enough. And so one problem with it is that it exposes the playfield wear of where the other ramp hit the playfield. But the ball doesn't have as smooth a trajectory as one would like, so it goes airborne a little bit. The shot's a little harder than it was. It's still a totally makeable shot, but Marco, I'd like a longer metal tab there. Okay, I'm not a pinball restoration expert, but I would love to see your comments or questions. I will post in the description of this video the bill of materials I used to select all of the individual bulbs, and I'll make that available as well. Oh wait, one other thing. I'm gonna try to cut in some gameplay video, and I want you to be able to see the extra bright flasher under the sun, and the extra bright cool white flasher I put under this ramp. So when you hit that ramp, you see a bright, cool, sort of lightning style view. It's not like super bright, but I think the effect is really nice, and I want to show that to you too. Okay, bye YouTube.